Think of Heat as a vivid dream about the nonsense you get up to when you're not just irrational, but in love with your own irrationality. Released in 1995 and directed by Michael Mann, it stars Robert De Niro as anonymous superstar thief Neil McCauley, and Al Pacino as the really rather conspicuous LAPD lieutenant Vincent Hanna. Two paragons of their respective fields, and two dudes with a lot of furtive love in their hearts for one another. The monomaniacal Neil leads a mean, loyal, and extremely capable team of cons to thieving infamy through the streets, bank vaults, and precious metal depositories of Los Angeles, while the equally lunatic Vincent, who quite frankly thinks Neil is little less than the Michael Jordan of nicking stuff, devotes himself entirely to proving that there's no burglar so slick that Lieutenant Hanna and his own Maverick squad can't apprehend him. In both of these men's lives, there is their work, and then there is... Truly, this is such stuff as human drama is made on. Everyone who matters in this film either has at the outset or finds over the course of it some unshakable guiding principle, an idea or person with which or indeed whom the sun, for them, rises and sets. And sure, these devotions may well make for very serious trouble, but as Jon Voight's utterly transfixing character Nate tells Neil with a smirk that reproves Neil for forgetting it, it's a free country, brother. For many people in Heat, this means that there's nothing more honourable to do at any given moment than the most bewitchingly impulsive thing imaginable. That might be subtextually huffing tons of cocaine if you're Vincent Hanna, demeaning yourself with Ralph if you're Vincent's frustrated wife Justine, signing up to an unnecessary high-stakes violent robbery because for you, Tom Sizemore, the action is the juice, or just whatever ends up getting you shot to death if you're one of any number of minor characters. In real life, of course, most of us neither take down scores nor hunt the guys that do, but in essence, this is kind of how we live a lot of the time, which is to say, overcommitted to and infatuated with the big, rough, self-written rules that we say we live by, despite knowing full well that often these rules countermand what actually makes existence both tenable and worthwhile. And perhaps somewhat perversely, we can feel as if our very selves are most vividly defined when these rules force us to some insane decision or deed that could upend our life. Or indeed, if you're some hotshot armed robber / police officer, perhaps lead to your premature, bullet-ridden death. It is, of course, a pretty violent film, but I think, in fact, Heat makes a rather convincing case for gun control. The sonic viciousness of gunfire in this film is completely unmitigated, and just who, exactly, I ask you, wants to hear that in real life? As the film transitions into its final third, there's one extended, kind of sublime bank heist sequence that throws all of Heat's characters towards their fates. And watching this for the third time in the cinema at last, I felt kind of like Vietnam vet Herman Bloom watching the school play Heaven and Hell at the end of Wes Anderson's film Rushmore. Incidentally, another great film about two dudes with a lot of furtive love in their hearts for one another, which is to say I was completely but aesthetically overwhelmed by the sensory reminiscence of terrible violence. Now, of course, I have never seen and touch wood never will see live combat, so I could probably only really trace my reaction to Heat's bank heist scene back to, well, the first two times I watched Heat. Despite the trauma, I can't wait for a fourth. After all, need I remind you, it's a free country, brother. Have you seen it? And have you seen this?